Hello guys, I'm Risalatul. You can call me Risa. I'm student of UPGRIS in major English Education Department. Okay, now I would like to deliver my simple explanation about experimental research design. Okay, the first is the definition of experimental research design. Experimental research is any research conducted with a scientific approach, where a set of variables are kept constant while the other set of variables are being measured as the subject of experiment. Experimental research is the one of the founding quantitative research method. The simplest example of an experimental research is conducting a laboratory test. As long as research is being conducted under scientifically acceptable conditions, it qualifies as an experimental research. A true experimental research is considered to be successful only when the researcher confirms that a change in the dependent variables is solely due to the manipulation of the independent evaluation. Okay, it is important for an experimental research to establish cause and effect of a phenomenon, which means it should be definite that effects observed from an experiment are due to the cause, as naturally occurring event can be confusing for researchers to establish conclusions. For instance, if a cardiology student conducts research to understand the effect of food and cholesterol and derives that most heart patients are non-vegetarians or have diabetes. They are aspects causes which can result in a heart attack event. The next is experimental research is conducted in the following situation. The first, time is a vital factor for establishing a relationship between cause and effect. Secondly, invariable behavior between cause and effect. And the last but not least, the eminence of cause-effect relationship is a predecibility. Okay, there are three types of the experimental research design, guys. The first one is pre-experimental research design, and the second one is true experimental research design, and the three quasi-experimental research design. And the difference between three of them are based on how the researcher classifies the subjects according to various conditions and groups. Okay, the explanation number one is pre-experimental research design. This is the simplest form of the experimental research design. A group or various groups are kept under observation after factors are considered for cause and effect. It is usually conducted to understand whether further investigation needs to be carried out on the target groups, due to which it is considered to be cost effective. The classification of pre-experimental research design is the pre-experimental research design is further bifurcated into three types. One is one-shot case study research design. 2. One group pre-test, post-test research design. And 3. Static group comparison. The second, true experimental research design. True experimental research is the most accurate form of experimental research design, as it relies on statistical analysis to prove or disprove a hypothesis. It is the only type of experimental design that can be established a cause-effect. relationship within a group's into experiment, there are three factors which need to be satisfied. The first, control group. Control group is group of participants for research that are familiar to the experimental group, but experimental research rules do not apply to them. An experimental group is research participant on whom experimental research rules do apply, and the two variables which can be manipulated by the researcher. 3. Random distribution. And this experimental research method is commonly implemented in physical sciences. Okay, the third experimental research design is quasi. The word quasi indicates resemblance. A quasi experimental research design is similar to experimental research, but it is not exactly that. The difference between the two, the assignment of a control group. In this research design, an independent variable is manipulated, but the participants of a group are not randomly assigned as per conditions. The independent variable is manipulated before calculating the dependent variable, and so the directionally problem is eliminated. Quasi-research is used in field settings where random assignment is either irrelevant or not required. Okay, the advantage of experimental research is 1. Researchers have a stronger hold over variables to obtain desired results. 2. Subjects or industry is not a criterion for experimental research, due to which any industry can implement it for research purposes. Okay, next is I would like to deliver a simple explanation about the example and the application of the experimental research design. Okay, the first one, the title of final project is The Effectiveness of Role Play on Students' Speaking Skills. This final project can be called using pre-experimental design because there are pre-test and post-test research design in the technique of data collecting. The final project still can be influenced by other variables because it has just used a subject. Okay, the title of final project is the comparison between CIRC. What is CIRC? CIRC is Cooperative Integrated Reading and Composition, and Jigsaw to teach recount text. This final project can be called using true experimental design because using cause effect into 2 or more groups variable. And the last but not least, we'll reverse to quasi-experimental research design. The title of final project is The Effects of Pre-Questioning on the Reading Comprehension Achievement. This final project is the development of true experimental research design. It has 2 different subjects since the beginning. Okay, I would like to show you the example of pre-research design with the title the effectiveness. Okay, you can see that. Okay, the research is from State University of Semarang, UNES. Okay, I would not like to mention the students because this is not for promote. Okay, I would like just to show you the title, The Effectiveness of Role Play on Students' Speaking Skill. Okay guys, do you get it about what I explained last time? Okay, I wish you can catch my explanation and wish this explanation can be advantage to you. Okay, thank you. Bye bye.